Test one, two, test one, two, test one, two, test one, two. Good evening from a very cold New York City. It is day number 2 on our Black History Month profiles. Let's hold a few seconds and then we're going in. Good evening, good evening. I am Honky and welcome to my world. As we celebrate Black History Month, I'm going to be coming through every single night this month with a new profile. I spend my day perusing the streets learning, and then I come in the evening and I share it. Today we are going to be looking at Robert Abbott. Okay. And here's what I found out in my research. He was born in 1870 and departed in 1940s. He was a newspaper publisher and editor. Robert S. Abbott was born in 1870 in Frederica Street, Simon Island, Georgia, of former slave parents. Drop a bomb on that. And I say that because when I learned that he was born to former slave parents and then everything that he accomplished, it makes you take pause and reflect. It says here, Georgia, of former slave parents, and studied the printing trade at Hampton Institute from 1892 to 1896. So he actually went and he learned the printing trade. He received a law degree from Kent College of Law in Chicago in 1898. Could you just imagine? Imagine what it is to get a law degree now. Imagine what it was like getting a law degree in 1898. Okay? But because of race prejudice in the United States, he was unable to practice. Drop a bomb on that. Look at that. Despite attempts to establish law offices in Gary, Indiana, Topeka, Kansas, and Chicago, Illinois, in 1905 he founded the Chicago Defender with an initial investment of 25 cents. The Defender, which was once heralded as the world's greatest weekly, soon became the most widely circulated black newspaper in the country and made Abbott one of the first self-made millionaires of African American descent. Drop a bomb on that. Self-made millionaire. Abbott also published a short-lived paper called Abbott's Monthly. He died of Bright's disease on February 29, 1940, and left the newspaper in control of his heirs and nephew, John Henry. All right, now when I learned about the Defender, I was like, okay, so he was the founder of the Defender, which is a newspaper. I said I want to learn more about the Defender, so we're gonna go a little bit further and learn about the Defender now. The Chicago Defender newspaper, founded in 1905 by Robert S. Abbott. The Chicago Defender is one of the most influential African American newspapers in United States history. Historically known as the world's greatest weekly, it played a pivotal role in the Great Migration, actively encouraging black Southerners to move to the urban North for better opportunities. The Great Migration, the paper published job listings, train schedules, and flaming red headlines about Northern opportunity helping to triple Chicago's black population between 1916 and 1918. So pretty much the paper was putting out information on, it could be better if you move up here. It could be better if you move up here. Okay. Because white distributors because white distributors in the South often refuse to carry it. The newspaper was smuggled into southern states by Pullman porters and distributed through an underground network of barbershops and churches. Okay. So, so because, the whites, okay, the whites were trying to block the newspaper, they created this whole underground system in which they can go ahead and share the knowledge and the information. Notable contributors. The Defender featured writings from legendary figures such as Langston Hughes, Ida B. Wells, Gwendolyn Brooks, and Ethel Payne. Civil rights advocacy. It campaigned against racial segregation in the military during World War II and provided extensive coverage of the civil rights movement, including a full page of photos from Emmett Till's funeral. Oh my gosh! Now, Emmett Till's, Emmett Till. Maybe I'll do a profile on that whole case, but I know that a very horrific scene, but I guess newspapers such as the Defender wanted the pictures out there so that they could really see what was done to this young man. I think I actually saw it when I was in college, maybe even through microfilm. This is what I call it, microfilm, microfiche, one of the two. Okay, current status. In July 2019, after 114 years of print, the Chicago Defender ceased its physical publication to focus entirely on its online platform, which is it's not new. It's keeping up with the times. I'm so surprised that it just speaks to the following that the newspaper had, that it was able to last 114 years in print. That is an accomplishment right there. Ownership. The publication is currently owned by Real Times Media, which also operates other historic black newspapers like the Michigan Chronicle. And legacy. It continues to host an annual Bud Bilkin Parade. It continues to host the annual Bud Bilkin Parade, the largest African-American parade in the United States, which was originally created by the newspaper in 1929. Now, I've never heard of this, the Bud Bilkin Parade. I'm probably going to do a deep dive on it too, just because I'm interested. Let's see. What else here? I think I covered it all. Yeah, so, yes, Mr. Abbott. A pioneer in printing, newspaper. I decided to come through with him today because, given everything that's happening, over 100 years later, where freedom of press is being blocked, where we have black journalists being jailed in America just because they were covering. We're not talking about somebody we didn't think it, we didn't know it was a social media influencer. No, we are talking about somebody who is known to be a newscaster, was a network, on a major network for year after year after year. Right. So there's no question about whether or not he's a reporter and whether or not he was covering what was going on in that particular church or not. So I found it fitting that since we want to be collecting our media people and throwing them in jail, that we came with the originators of the newspapers and the media movement and getting the information out there. We will continue to look at profiles all throughout this month, and if I feel like it, I may just continue past the month, because that's how we do it over here. Okay? On this second day of Black History Month. Black history is American history. Don't get it twisted. I had the opportunity to go to the Museum of American History in Washington, D.C. with my husband, the Incredible Hulk, sometime last year. I think it was last year. And that in itself, I'm going to do a video on it. That was a touching experience, especially when you start in the bottom floor and you work your way up. It was just, and I'm glad that I went before Orange Man took over the White House and tried to destroy the history. You know, you could try to destroy it. At the end of the day, the people will carry the history, okay, and the people are resilient. So, with that said, I will see you guys tomorrow. Please be safe. Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Peace.